with our discussion on AO star algorithm, we are discussing AO star algorithm, which is used or which works on AND/OR type of graph. So in today's lecture, we will discuss how this AO star works. In last lecture, we have seen that how this AO star algorithm is different from best first search algorithm and A star algorithm. And we saw that there are problems which are decomposable. That means you can divide those problems into sub problems, and we follow this strategy most of the time. If problem is very complex, then we divide it into sub problems and we try to solve those sub problems separately, and then we combine those results to get the final result or to achieve the final goal. So this problem decomposition basically is the basic principle for the problems where this AO star will work. Then we have seen examples of the problems which are decomposable in nature, like matrix multiplication you can perform in parts. As a whole, if we have n number of matrix, then dividing them is a complex task. So what we can do, we can perform matrix multiplications independently, and then results of those multiplications again can be multiplied in turn to get the final multiplication of all those n matrices. So we have seen how to multiply n matrix by using this problem decomposable principle. So out there we have seen that a basic mechanism or a basic matrix multiplication principle, how it can be used for applying this particular strategy. If I have matrix A1, matrix A2, A3, A4 for example, and if I have to multiply all these four together, so this can be done in different ways. One way is you can multiply A1 and A2 and A3 and A4 separately, and then the result of this can be multiplied with result of A3 and A4. This is one way. Another way is that you can have matrix A1, then you can multiply that with result of A2 and A3, which we have done separately, and result of this you can multiply that with matrix A4. So there are several ways this task can be performed. So that makes our problem solving easier. This was first example, and second example that we have discussed was Tower of Hanoi problem. So in Tower of Hanoi, as we have seen that we can divide this problem into three sub problems. First sub problem is, yes, you transfer largest disk n-1 disk to, yes, what are the sub problems in Tower of Hanoi, right?
n-1 into B, then largest one into C,
right,
and then n-1 into again C.
Again C, where you want to transfer all those disks from pole A to pole C. So ultimately, if you perform these three tasks separately and then combine them together, you will get the solution. Correct. So that was Tower of Hanoi problem. So these two examples we have seen where problem was decomposable. Not necessary that all problems that you will encounter they will be decomposable in nature. If problem is simple, easier, although it is not decomposable, you can use other techniques efficiently. But if problem is decomposable and very complex, then you will find out that this technique works. Then we have seen how to perform cost calculation. This was an important step in AO star or and/or graph search mechanism. Since we have seen that AO star search can be applied on the search space which may contain OR type of arcs as well as AND type of arcs. For example, if suppose the search space is something like this, then there are several ways you can reach to the goal from this starting state S. Okay. So what this graph tells us, suppose I name all those nodes, successor of S are A, B, C, successor of A, D and E, B, F, C, G and H. Now in this case, how many possible solution paths are there?
2.
Many paths are there. So one of the path is, yes, we will start with S, and since this is AND, so both has to be visited, A and B, because of this AND. Now there are two nodes, successor nodes for A, but again there is AND. So to solve this A, both D and E has to be solved. So D and E both needs to be evaluated. Then since this is AND, you should explore B also. Now B is not a sub goal. If suppose that is the case, then you are going to explore this B that will generate F. Now this is OR, only one successor node is there. So this is one of the solution tree. Am I right? Is it a solution tree? One of the solution tree? What is other possible solution tree then?
G.
Node
Yes,
S
C, G.
Correct. Node S. Now since this
C,
is OR,
G.
you can go to C again or no
G.
G. Correct. What is another possibility? This is solution tree second.
Yes, C, H.
Very much right. S. Then since this is or, either you can go to A and B or C. So C, and from C again OR nodes are there. So either you can go to G or H. So you can go to H. So this is solution tree third. Any other possibility? So right now in this AND OR graph, we could identify three possible solution trees. Any other possibility? There is no other possibility right now. But since this is a partial search space, further D, E, F, G and H have to be explored. Now this is how we have seen that solution trees, multiple solution trees are possible in on the AND OR graph of search space. Now since this is the case, your cost calculation mechanism will change. Because come to this place in solution tree 1, now there will be a cost associated with node D and cost associated with node E. Suppose those costs are, cost associated with node D is 7 and E is 2. Now since this is AND, we have seen that cost associated with node A will change. Previously there might be some other cost. So now the new cost associated with node A, after exploring A, generating D and E will be, yes, cost associated,
9.
right? Assuming that zero cost is associated with generating node D and E. Otherwise, in your book, Reach and Night book, it is assumed that 1 unit cost is required to generate a D for each node. So we are assuming that that cost is 0. So cost associated with A will be 7 plus 2, that is 9, right? What will be then cost associated with S? So that depends
It
upon,
also depend on B.
right, that depends upon cost associated with B. Cost associated with B depends on cost associated with node F. So suppose right now after generating F, cost associated if with F found to be 4. So cost associated with B will change. Some other cost might be there with B, earlier cost. So that will change to 4 because this is OR as it is. So cost associated with S will be then
13.
13. Right. So now what does this mean? If you take this particular solution tree, cost required will be 13. Okay. Come to the second solution tree. Suppose cost associated with G is 6. Okay. And what will be then cost associated with C?
6.
As it is, because this is or some cost may be there to generate this G, we are assuming that that is 1. So therefore, if you consider this solution tree 2, cost associated will be 6. Similarly, come to the third case. Suppose out here cost is 10 to reach to the goal. Actual cost will differ little bit because from H, cost to reach to the goal is 10. Some cost will be there to reach to this node H. So we are assuming that that is small. So suppose that cost is 2. So actual cost will be 12. But we are ignoring that cost. So cost associated with S will be near to 10. So if you take solution tree 3, cost is around 10, 2, cost is around 6, and 1 is around 13. So which one is better?
Second.
Second solution tree is better. So what algorithm will do? Algorithm will prefer this path. This will be your current best path. Okay, so this is how cost calculation takes place. So this is important when we are going to discuss this AO star search algorithm. So already we have discussed, we have revised this. So we have seen that the algorithm that we have discussed so far, they work on OR type of graphs. This AO star search and OR graph search will work on and OR graph type of search space. In addition to this, we have seen that we are going to label the nodes. So labeling you are going to perform. What kind of labels we are going to assign to the nodes? Two types of labels. One is solved and another one is unsolved or unsolvable. A node is unsolvable if you cannot reach to the goal or sub goal through that node. Then you are going to label that node as unsolvable node. For example, from D, suppose it is not possible to reach to the goal. So in that case, D will become unsolvable. So how algorithm will identify that particular node is unsolvable? By the cost. So for example, this cost is 799. So this cost is very high if you compare the cost associated with other nodes. So such a condition you can specify in an algorithm, that is cost crosses some threshold value, exceeds some threshold value, then label that node as unsolvable. So this is how you are going to do that practically in your code algorithm. But theoretically, if node is unsolvable, that means you cannot go to the goal or sub goal through that node. So practically, in implementation, cost associated with that node might be very high cost. So in that case, you are going to label that node as unsolvable node. And when node is solvable or solved, when you are going to label that as solved, if the node is a terminal goal node. Recall, we have shown terminal goal nodes by concentric circle last time. For example, suppose G is a terminal goal node. Okay, G has cost 6, so it cannot be. Suppose some other node is connected to G, I. If it happens to be a terminal goal, so that we are going to show that by two concentric circles. So what does this mean? This I node is a terminal goal node. So you have reached to one of the sub goal. That is the meaning of these two concentric circles. Because you have divided your problems into sub problems. So this I can be one of the sub problem. So if this is the case, then you are going to label this node I as solved node. In that case, label this I node as solved. Now if this node I is solved, because of that G may become solved. Now since this is R, so since I is solved, G will become solved. Now since G is solved, C will also become solved. So all parent node will become solved. And if C is solved, then S will become solved, right? So if S becomes solved, we have seen we have reached to the solution. Algorithm will return all the node whose label is solved. Now another situation. Come over here. Okay. I will draw another figure. Suppose solution space is something like this. This is AND, this is OR, this is OR, and this is AND. One more node is there. This is one of the sub goal. This is sub goal. Okay. If it is something like this, suppose we name these nodes as S, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now let us understand how labeling will take place. Somehow at some time you will reach to node D. So algorithm says that label this D as solved. So I will label this D node as solved node. So because of that, node A will become solved because this is OR, right? So since D is solved, A is also solved. Then at some times the algorithm will reach to node G, which is a terminal goal node, so one of the sub goal. So you are going to label that as solved. Because of that, since this is OR, E will become solved. So that means completely evaluated. So you can assign the cost with that node. So since E has become solved, whether B will become solved?
No,
We have
Why
to
not?
solve A first.
Why not?
We have
because
to solve
F is unsolved.
Pardon?
F is unsolved.
F is it is not unsolved. F does not have any label, right? It has to be explored further. Correct. So B will not become solved, right? Because of that. And since B is not solved, therefore S will not become solved, right? When F will become solved now, now if suppose you are at node F, F is not a sub goal, so it has to be explored further. Apply successor function on F, and suppose that has generated two nodes and that arc is AND type of arc. This is H and this is I. H and I happen to be sub goals. Now what will happen? You are at node H and I. What will happen now? What kind of labeling will take place?
Solve. F will
solve.
become solved.
You have to label H as solved, and I is also terminal goal node, one of the terminal goal node, so I will also become solved. Now since both are solved and this is AND, now F can become solved.
Solve.
Now E is solved, F is solved, so therefore B will become solved. Now since B is solved, A is also solved, this is AND, so S will become, parent node will become solved. Okay. If S becomes solved, starting node becomes solved, so therefore algorithm will terminate. We have reached to the solution. Algorithm will return all the nodes whose label is solved. So that will be a subtree, solution tree, and that is the, yes, solution to the search problem. Solution that you are searching. So there are rare chances that algorithm will reach to a node whose label is unsolved. Sometimes that is possible. So that situation is if you cannot go further. For example, can I label this C as unsolved? No. You apply successor function on this C, it will generate its successor nodes, and every node will have some cost. Suppose cost associated with this C exceeds some threshold, very high cost this C node had. What does that mean? That to reach to the goal, that much cost has to be expended. In that case only C will become unsolved. Otherwise there will be no label to C. You are going to explore this C, it will generate its successor, they will have their own cost. Somewhere you will reach to the terminal sub goal. So label that as solved, because of that ancestor nodes will become solved. That's how algorithm will perform. So that's what we have written out here. Last time we have seen that here in this algorithm you need to label nodes as solved or unsolved. Okay. AND node solutions which require solutions of all successor nodes. So if node is AND, all successor nodes should be solved. That is the requirement. The solution is found when start node is labeled as solved. Okay. So already we have discussed this. Now let us come to the algorithm. Although the algorithm looks only, mainly there are 7 steps or 6 steps. But whenever you are going to implement this algorithm, lot of other modules you will have to implement. For example, cost calculation. We have just said the compute the cost, but how those costs will be calculated, that detail mechanism we have not specified in the algorithm. Similarly, we are just saying that return the solution tree, but how algorithm actually will return that has not been specified. So during simplification process, certain things we have compromised in this algorithm, but this will give you an idea exactly how algorithm works. First step is as usual, place starting node S on open list. Again now let us recall what is open list and what is closed list. Open list is your fringe, right? In some books that is called as fringe. What kind of nodes you are going to put on open? The nodes, yes, which are explored. The node which is explored. And what kind of nodes generally we put on closed list? Second type of list. The nodes which are generated and explored completely. Consider this case. For example, you are at starting node S. It is not a goal. So S will be on fringe, open list. So S is generated, but it is not explored completely. So initially S will be on open list. Now S is not a goal. So you are going to explore it applying successor functions. Suppose this S generates 4 nodes A, B, C and D. Has been generated as well as explored completely. In that case, now S will go from open list to the closed list. But A, B, C are generated now, but not explored completely. So A, B, C, D will be on open list. That is on fringe. Now one of the nodes, suppose that is better, C is better node, or no node is a goal node. So you are going to select the better node. So better node is C. So you are going to remove this C from open, because on open we have ABCD. Remove this C from open, explore it, generating its children. Suppose that has generated E and F. So E and F will be on open now and C will be on closed list. So in this way you are going to update those lists. So on open list we will have nodes which are generated but not explored completely, and on closed list we will have nodes which are generated and explored. So that is what initially S will be on there for open list. Second step, using the search tree constructed so far, compute the most promising solution tree T0. So initially only S will be there. So this step as such will not come in picture. So only S will be on T0 in that case. Come to the next step. Third step is select node N that is both on open and part of T0. So on T0 you have S initially. What is that node? Starting node. So it is on open as well as on T0. So remove it. We are saying remove that N from open and place it on close. You will have to explore it and it will generate its children and place this S on close. So all this we have put in just one sentence. So S node will be on close, generating its successor. Now there are different possibilities. This node N, that can be a goal. If it is a goal, label that as solved, sub goal. Already we have seen that if you reach to the terminal goal, then you have to label that as solved. If the solution of N results in any of N's ancestors being solved, then label all the ancestors as solved. Already we have seen this way. If, for example, come over here, G is solved. So because of that, E will become solved. Then check out whether B can become solved or not. Right now, not. So to become B solved, F should be solved. To make this F solved, this H and I should be solved. Same thing. If the solution of that N results in its ancestors being solved, label all the ancestors are solved. Otherwise, only label those nodes which are solved because of that particular subgoal. If the start node S is solved, exit with success and T0 will be your solution tree. Remove from open all the nodes whose label is solved. Okay, we have seen this. Another possibility, N may not be solvable node. If it is not solvable, means what? It is unsolvable, so label that as unsolvable. I told you when node will become unsolvable, if you cannot reach to the goal or sub goal through that node. Sometimes that is possible, situations are rare. In that case, you are going to label that node as unsolvable node. If this is the case, If start node becomes unsolvable, that algorithm will return failure. When start will become unsolvable, all its successor nodes are unsolvable, right? Come over here. Let us see the example when start will become unsolvable. Suppose this is start node having 4 successors A, B, C and D. This is AND. These are terminal subgoals E and F. Now, how labeling will take place? Tell me. You are at node E. What will be the label with node E? E will be solved. Because of that, what node will become solved? A will become solved. Since A has become solved, whether S will become solved? Yes, because this is OR. So S will become solved. So what algorithm will do? Terminate and return this SAE as T0. Okay, T0 will be node S, A and node E. Correct? Right. Now consider another possibility. Suppose, uh, let me remove this first. Suppose F, you are at node F. You are at node F and this F happened to be a unsolvable node. This F is unsolvable. What will happen now? You reach to node F and this F is unsolvable node. So what you are going to do, how you will come to know that F is unsolvable? Because it may have very high cost. So you are going to label this as unsolvable. Now what will happen? How labeling will proceed? Whether B will become unsolvable? Because of this F, whether B will become unsolvable?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Because there is no other path. To reach to F, you will have to go through B only. And because of that, whether S will become unsolvable?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
It will not become unsolvable. Why?
One solution tree exists.
Now F is unsolvable. Because of that, you told me that B will become unsolvable. That is right. No problem. So B will become unsolvable. because there is no other way that you can go to F from B. Had it been some other path to reach to goal from B, then we should not have labeled this B as unsolved. But there is only one path. So since this is unsolved, this is also unsolved. But because of this, S will not become unsolved. Because you can reach to the goal, there are alternate paths also. Although there is a problem with B, but you can go to A, this is or this, right? So although you cannot reach to the goal through B, there are two more ways you can reach to the goal. One is through A and another one is through C and D. Okay? Understood? So because of this, S will not become unsolved. Because there are two more paths, alternate paths, through which you can reach to the goal. One path is through A and another path is through this C and D. Understood?
Yes, sir.
When S will become unsolvable situation, if this A is unsolvable and D, one of this is unsolvable. Suppose A is unsolvable. Suppose I am saying, if this is the case, don't worry about this part. Suppose A is unsolvable. Now in this situation, whether S will become unsolvable?
No.
No, right? Because there is alternate path through C and D. Still you can reach to the goal. So do not label S as unsolvable. Suppose C is also unsolvable. What will happen now?
S will become unsolvable.
Right. Now S will become unsolvable because there is no path through which you can reach to the goal. Although we don't know about D. Although suppose D is solvable. But because of that, since this is AND, you need a path through C also. Therefore, although D is solvable, this path is not useful to reach to the goal. So S will become unsolvable because A is unsolvable, B is unsolvable and C is unsolvable. Correct. So I hope that you have understood this levelly. So that is fifth step. If S is not solvable node, what to do? So in fourth step we have seen if it is a terminal goal node, you have to perform labeling, solve labeling. If it is not solvable node, what to do? You have to label that as unsolved. And if that is unsolved, there might be a case its ancestor, some of the ancestor nodes, they will become unsolved. There is a third possibility. What is that third possibility? N is not a terminal goal node. It is not a solvable node. So what is third possibility? You have to explore that node. That is the intermediate node through the solution path. So otherwise expand this N. As usual, that's what we have done in other algorithms also, but little bit difference is there that cost calculations you have to perform by considering and OR type of nodes. Otherwise, generate their successors by using for each successor. It may contain more than one subproblem. What is meaning of this? For example, let me remove this. For example, suppose this is one of the node, that is K. Other nodes are there, but we are at node K. Generate its K is not a goal node. It is not a solvable node. It is not an unsolvable node. Then what to do? We are saying. So apply successor on this K, that will generate its successors. Suppose it had generated 2 successors or 3 successors. This happened to be AND L, M and N. So this has generated, after exploring K, this has generated 2 subproblems. One is there is a path through L and M, and another is there is a path through N. So one subproblem is this KLM. This is K, this is L, this is M. Another subproblem is from K there is a path to N. So that's what we are saying. Because of this AND, so that may result a situation something like this is AND. Now after this, again algorithm will proceed as usual. Generate their successors. Come to this. So generate successor, explore this L, explore this M in this way. Generate their successors to give individual subproblems. Attach each newly generated node back pointer to its predecessor. Back pointer has to be attached because to identify its parent node. For example, suppose this is O, P and Q. So if you are at P, so you will have to attach back pointer of this node P to M and Q also to M. So your algorithm will come to know that P and Q, they have same parent, and that is node M. So to make sure about that structure, or which node is a child of which node, to remember that structure you will have to attach back pointer. So this is by doubly linked list or that kind of mechanism, this can be implemented. Compute cost estimate H star for each newly generated node. H star, we are saying always star indicates estimate. What is this H? Cost to reach to the goal, right? Place all such a nodes that, this should be that do not yet have descendants on open. Again, I am reading. Compute the cost estimate for newly generated node. So we have a heuristic function for that. So use that. That will generate the cost. And place all such a node that do not have descendants on open. So you will have to place them on open. Otherwise, there might be a case their descendants are on open. So what is that situation? If that is the case, that means you are going through that particular node twice. Earlier also you have gone through that particular path. There is a situation, there might be a situation where currently where you are visiting that place again. Earlier also through other node you might have visited that node. For example, situation like this. If suppose this K is connected to this node and this node also. What is this node? J, and this is suppose I. Now there might be a case that you have visited this K when you have come from this J node earlier. Okay. After some time, suppose I has become, path through I has become better. So I will generate k again, right? But earlier, in earlier case, when we have gone through this, after exploring J, algorithm had generated this K. So in that case, this K will be either on open or close. If you have explored this K, that would have generated L and M again. So you will have this L and M on open list or closed list again. But whenever you are going to visit this K through node I again, that time also I will generate this K. So you will find out this K is on close, or either it is on close or open list. So what is indication? This is the indication that you are visiting that node again. Earlier also you have visited that node. So that means that node has more than one parent. In short, what does this mean? That node has parent. So to take care of that, here we are saying you will have to place it on open. Next, recompute the values of, sorry, this A star at n. Recompute the value at n. Why you will have to recompute those values? Because cost might change. Go back again. When you reach through node K, gone through node K, through node J, cost associated with K might have been some cost. For example, suppose 25. But when you come from node I again through this node K, in that case cost might change. So you will have to assign new cost with K. That's why we are saying that you will have to recompute the cost. Recompute the cost and each ancestor of n. So because of that, cost associated with ancestor nodes may change, right? For example, this node I may be connected some other node. This happened to be a part of suppose AND type of node out here. So because of that, cost will change. We have seen how cost calculation is performed. So that's why we are saying recompute the cost. Then as usual, go to the step 2. So this is how this AO-star algorithm works. So although it looks a little bit complex, but steps are similar to that we have seen with A-star or best first search algorithm. Only the change is that here your solution is a tree. Second thing, cost calculation has to be performed because of that AND type of nodes or type of nodes in little bit different way. Okay, and labeling you will have to perform. You have to label nodes as solved or unsolved because solution is a tree. So how algorithm will come to know that particular solution tree with the help of these labels. So when S becomes solved, algorithm returns all the nodes whose label is solved. So that's how algorithm returns the solution tree. So three steps, major steps. When you are at node n, it can be a terminal goal node or it can be unsolvable node, or third possibility is it is an intermediate node. So in each step you will have to specify what you are going to do. So if it is a terminal node, so in step 4 we have seen that you have to label that as solved, and if that node is solved, because of that some of its ancestor nodes will become solved. When S becomes solved, that is the goal. Okay. Second possibility, the node n can be unsolvable node. So what to do? If it is unsolvable, because of that, its ancestor nodes may become unsolvable. So label them as unsolvable. That's what we do in step 5. And last, in 6, otherwise we explore that node, generate their successors, put the nodes on the list, open list, attach the back pointers. So attaching back pointer means keeping track of that generated node is parent of, sorry, the child of which parent node. Then recompute the cost, because cost may change. We have seen how cost calculation is performed, and return to step 2. So you have to repeat this until S becomes solved or S becomes unsolved. If S is unsolved, that means no solution exists. Algorithm will return the failure. So this is how this AO star algorithm works. Any difficulty up to this?
No, sir.
Others?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So now, therefore, what we will do now, we will solve an example on this so that everything will be clear and you will be able to code it in through the programming language also. Let us come to this situation. Now this is the state space given to you. What we have to find out? We have to execute AO star algorithm on this state space and find out what solution it will return. Okay. Now, two types of nodes have been shown out here. So, here square indicates that this is a sub goal. Instead of two concentric circles, I have used here squares. So, square indicates sub goal. So, how execution will take place? H costs are given. So, initially S node has H cost 7. What does this mean? Cost to reach to the goal is from node S is 7 initially, but that cost will change afterwards. Okay. So let us trace execution of AO star on this. So start with S. Okay. Go back to the algorithm. Place starting node S on open. So start with node S. Come to this. So is it a goal? No. Why not? Because as I told you, sub-goals are shown with rectangles. So S is not a goal. Then what to do? Now what to do?
Explore.
Explore it.
Explores.
Explore this S, correct. So what it will generate? A and B, because this is given. That's why this is given to you. How you will come to know only 2? Because this is given. Okay. So it will generate A and B. This is A. This is B. Initially, cost associated with this H is 7. That is given, right? A and B are generated with corresponding cost 4 and 3. So this cost, H cost is 4, and here H cost is 3. And what type of node it is? It is AND type of R. Okay, let me specify that also out here. Later on there will not be any confusion. This is AND Then this is also and. This is also and. Keep this or and this or. Now what will happen? Yes.
Explore.
Since that is and, this is given to you as and. What will happen now? We will do one more thing to understand that part also. We will assign cost also with this arcs. To generate this A, suppose we will assume that cost required is 2. To generate this B, cost required is 1. C, the cost required is 2. To generate D, the cost required is suppose 1. Here it is suppose 1. Uh, what is left? Okay, that much is sufficient. Since these are terminal goal nodes, corresponding cost will be 0. You are already at a goal, so this cost are 0. So assume that. Now what will happen? So this cost is 2, cost to generate A is 2, cost to generate B is 1. Next step now, S was not a goal, you explored it, generated A and B with cost 4 and 3. Cost to generate A was 2, to generate B is 3. It is an AND type of node. So next step,
Cost of S will equal to 10.
correct. Recompute the cost. Go back to the algorithm. Here in step 6 we are saying generate and attach back pointer and then recompute the cost. So correct. Cost of S will change. So what will be the cost? Instead of 7, cost
10.
of S will be 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is
10.
10. Initially, what we assume these costs are 0, or in your book it is assumed that these costs are 1, but this cost can be different also. So we are taking that case also. So cost associated with S will change, that is this plus this, that is 4 plus 3 plus to generate A 2 cost, to generate B 1 cost. So total cost is 10. So cost associated with S will change. That is now instead of 7 that is 10. Now what will happen? What to do? Next step is return to step 2. Go back algorithm. Return to step 2. Step 2 is using search tree constructed so far, compute most promising. Only one promising tree is there because of that and select n that is both on open and part of T0. Remove n from open and place it on close. Now on open you will have A and B there. Okay. So on remove n from open, that is both on open and part of T0. On T0 you have SAB. Okay. And on open you have A and B only. So either A or B you will have to remove from open. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because of this is and both A and B you will have to explore. So A and B are on open. So you explore A as well as explore B. So suppose I explore B first. What will happen then? Expand B, generate its successors. So what are the successors of B? That is given E and F, right? So it will generate E and F. They happen to be terminal nodes. Corresponding costs are 0, that is given. Costs are 0. Now what will happen? What about their cost? 9 and 7. Next step now. Yes.
Check if E is terminal node.
Uh, which one is terminal node?
E and F.
E and F are terminal node. Yes. They are terminal node because it's given. Right? E and F. They are.
Select F and recompute the cost of B.
Select F. Why F?
Best
Minimum cost.
Right. Correct. It has generated E and F. Both are terminal goal nodes. Since this is OR, one of that you are going to select. Which one is better? F is better because cost is 7. So cost associated with B was 3. Now it is 7. Correct. Now what will happen?
Explore A.
Before that,
Cost of S will be recomputed.
right? Because of this recomputation that will takes place till the end, depending upon type of node. Now B is child of S. This is AND. So cost associated with S will change. Earlier it was 10. Now this will be 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. So that is
14.
14. So instead of 10, cost associated with S will be 14. Correct. Now
Explore A.
Correct. Since this is AND, you have to explore B as well as A. So explore A. After exploring A, it will generate C and D. Both are intermediate node with cost 2 and 5. So generate C and D. C and D and cost 2 and 5. Cost of arcs 2 and 1. So this cost is 2, this cost is 1. And what type of arc it is? It is OR. No problem. Now what will happen?
Select C and explore it.
This is OR. C is better because 2 and 2, that is 4, and out here if you find out, it is 6. Okay, right? So this is 6, this is 4. So this cost, what will be the new cost? With A?
4.
4.
Same. Correct. It will remain same because new cost is also 4. So next step. So C and D, they are on open list now.
Explore C.
Correct. You will have to explore C because that is better node as compared to D. So after exploring C, it has generated G and H, right? This is G and this is H. One here H is equal to 3. This is 1 and H is equal to 3. What type of node it is? It is AND. Now what will happen? This H, here the cost is 10. Cost of H is 10.
Check if G and H are terminal nodes.
Right. G is not a terminal, but H is a terminal. Then
Sir, both should be
Explore
terminal
G.
nodes.
before that, one step is left. Before going further, what to,
Explore G.
before that?
Recompute.
Yes.
Check if they are solvable or not.
Already we have done that because G is solved now. H is solved. G no label, it has to be further explored. Before that, what to do? You have to recompute the cost. Cost associated with C is 2. What will be the new cost associated with C after exploring it?
14.
14.
Right? That cost recomputation you will have to first perform. So cost associated with C is 14 now. So what will happen because of that? Now since cost associated with C is 14, what to do next?
Cost of A 22.
9. You are forgetting
Six.
that this is
We
R. This is R.
D.
18.
select
Cost of a
D and
18.
explore it. Select D and explore it.
Right. C, cost of C has become 14. Earlier it was 2, therefore it was a best path. But now it has become 14 and this is OR. This is OR type of node. So what will happen? Best of this you will have to select. So this is better now. This 6 is better than this 14. So node D is better. This is not a current best path now. Okay. So what will happen? Because of that, cost associated with A will change. What will be the new cost with A?
16.
6.
6. This is OR.
6.
So either this or this. This is 16, this is 6. 6 is better because this is OR node, right? So instead of 4, now the new cost is 6. This is current best path now through node D. Okay. What algorithm will do now?
Recompute cost of S.
Right. What will be the new cost with S?
16.
16. 6 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1, that is 16. Correct. Now, after that,
Explore D.
Explore D.
correct. Explore node D. So if you explore node D, that will generate I and J. Both are terminal nodes and cost 3 and 4. So I and J. I and this is J, cost 3 and 4. And what type of node it is? It is AND. Yes, it is AND. Now, label I and J as solved. Recompute the cost. What will happen now?
Cost of D will become 7.
Correct. These are zero cost, right? That is given because we are reaching to terminal nodes. So 4 plus 3, that is 7. It was 5. So instead of 5, this cost will become 7. So because of this, what will happen?
Cost of A
Cost
will
of
become
A.
7.
Cost
8.
of A will become
8.
8.
7 plus 1, that is 8.
8.
Correct. Because of that, what will happen?
Cost of S.
Cost of S will change. So what will be the new cost?
18.
18.
18. Correct. What about now next? Oh, labeling. In between that, you have performed labeling also. So how labeling will take place? Find out. Hello. Yes. How labeling will take place now?
G is unsolved.
Why you are going to G node? Why it is unsolved? When node becomes unsolved, if
When
you
we can't
cannot,
reach to the goal.
you can't reach to the goal. So that is not the case there. H is 3 given. You can go through that node. There will be no label with G.
I and J will be solved.
I and J solved, right? So I will write blue color S for solved node. So because of that, label of
D
T,
will become
when you
solved.
reach, when you reach to I and J, that time label was solved. Because of that, D will become solved. Since D is solved, since this is R, A will become solved. Okay, but this is AND. S will not become solved until B becomes solved. But earlier, when we were at E and F, that time when you reach to E, it was a terminal goal node. That time you label that as solved. Label F as solved. What about this B? This is R, no?
B is solved.
F is solved.
Because of F,
F
F was better, so B, we will not go to this. F is solved, so B will become solved. So B was solved earlier. A has become solved now after this. Since A has become solved, this is and S will become solved. So
Solved.
algorithm will terminate here once A becomes solved. When A becomes solved, the time when I and J you reach to terminal subgoals, you reach to terminal subgoals, then you label this D as solved. Since D is solved, A has become solved. Cost calculation has been performed. B was already solved earlier, so S has become solved. Algorithm will terminate and return all the nodes with label solved. That is the solution. So what subtree algorithm will return this S, okay, this A, this is B, this is D, this is
I,
I, and
J,
this is J. Okay, this is
E
your
and F.
right. This is
F
E.
F only.
E not no
Sir,
E.
फक्त F only.
Only F. E we will not even label that as solved. So this is A. This is B. This is D, I, and J. This is F, and this is your T0, which is a solution tree. So algorithm will return all the nodes whose label is solved. Okay, what is the cost to reach
18.
to return this
18.
18, right? Correct. So cost required for this solution will be 18. Total cost will be 18. So this is how this AO star algorithm works. Understood whole this process?
Yes, sir.
Although it
Yes,
is
sir.
complex, but if you understand this cost calculation, then it is simple algorithm. Only implementation is little bit complex out here because you have to think of how you are going to work on this and type of arcs. So you always you will have to store this subgraph, right? Any difficulty up to this? implementation of working of this AO star algorithm? If there is no difficulty, we will move further. Let us analyze this cost of calculating the solution tree. You will find out always this AO star will find out a minimum cost solution tree. Of course, provided that your HN star is always less than or equal to HN. What is meaning of this? Tell me one word for this equation, that HN star is less than or equal to HN. Heuristic, of course, this is a heuristic function. Na? What is this? It will give you minimum cost solution provided that H star n is less than or equal to Hn.
Estimated cost less.
Right? Estimated cost is always less than or equal to actual cost.
Actual cost.
What is the word for this?
Underestimate.
Correct. Right. This is underestimate. Then and then only admissible heuristic, that means then and then only it will always give you the minimum cost solution tree if your H star n is less than or equal to Hn. And all R costs are positive, of course. R cost cannot be negative. This underestimate with example, it's very simple condition, like suppose you are at place A, you have to reach to place B, and you are new, you don't know actually, first time you are visiting this place, you are going on your scooter or bike. Suppose at when you are at point A, you have estimated that the time required to reach to place B is 1 hour and 30 minutes. That is your estimate, H star at A. Okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes. You have started from A, reached to B, and you find that this Hn, now not star, this Hn is, that is cost to reach to B from A is, H of A is 1 hour and 40 minutes. Your estimate was 1 hour 30 minutes. Actual cost is 1 hour 40 minutes because already you have at place B. So your estimate was less than actual duration. Estimated duration is less than actual time taken to reach to the place B. So this is underestimate. Okay, this is called as underestimate. Actual is more, but your estimate is less than that, less than or equal to, that is underestimate. So this type of function is preferable. Had it been opposite to this, suppose your estimate is 1 hour 50 minute and actual time taken is 1 hour 40 minute. So such a heuristic function will not give you, may not give you minimum cost solution. Why? What will happen because of this? If it is, that means this is overestimate. So if it is overestimate, you may not get minimum cost solution tree. Why? Hurry up. What will happen because of this in execution of any algorithm like A star, best first, or this ever star?
Because we consider estimate cost.
We consider always estimated cost, na? H value we consider, H star value, because when you are at A, you don't know how much time actually it will take. So you have to estimate. So what will happen if it is overestimate? You will not get minimum cost solution. Why? Because of this, see here, this cost is 1 hour 50 minute, actual cost is 1 hour 40 minute, but you knew that it is 1 hour 50 minute at this point. There might be some other path. For example, there is another alternative. Instead of A, there is another path P to reach to this B, and out here the estimate is S star P. One hour 45 minutes. So what will happen? Algorithm will select this node P because this cost is less. This cost is more, 1 hour 50 minutes is more, right? Cost associated with A is 1 hour 50 minutes. Cost associated with P is 1 hour 45 minutes. किंवा otherwise you make it okay, 1 hour 45 minutes. So what algorithm will do? Algorithm will select this node P. Okay, and reach to node B, or reach to the place B. And actually this is the estimated cost, and actual time taken to reach to B through P is suppose 1 hour and 55 minutes. Algorithm has selected node P because this was less, estimated cost was less than this. Okay, but actual cost to reach to node B is 1 hour 55 minute HN value. So although this is not a better path, algorithm has taken this path, selected this path, this return this as a solution, which is not a minimum cost solution. This has happened because this was an overestimate. Actual time required to reach to B is 1 hour 40 minute. Heuristic function has written 1 hour 50 minute, which was overestimate. And since this value is greater than this value, algorithm has selected node P. Return this as a solution, which is a suboptimal solution, which is not a minimum cost solution. But still algorithm has returned this because out here this was overestimate. So if it is underestimate, then always it will return the minimum cost solution. So that's why this is important. Understood this fact?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay. Am I audible now?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Huh. So any question on this analysis on this statement remark that Eostar always finds a minimum cost solution? Again I am
No.
repeating. See here at point A estimated cost was 1 hour 50 minute, right? Here at place P estimated cost is 1 hour 45 minute. This is better now, less than this. So algorithm will select this. This is underestimate because actual cost required is 1 hour 55 minute. But here estimated was 1 hour 45 minute was better than A. So algorithm has selected this and returned this as a solution. But you will find out this was a better solution. But algorithm could not return this. Why it could not return this? Because A node algorithm could not select because it was overestimate heuristic value. Actual time required is 1 hour 40 minute, but since estimate was overestimate, it was 1 hour 50 minute, and because of this path has been selected, which is not a minimum cost solution. So therefore we say always it will find out minimum cost solution if it is underestimate and all our costs are positive. So any question on this?
No,
Understood
sir.
why this statement is true? Therefore, whenever you are going to decide on heuristic function, it should be underestimate. Yes, that is the reason. So therefore, we will move to the next final remarks on this applications of this algorithm. You will find out AO star algorithm is useful for searching specifically game trees. For more domain specific algorithms like alpha beta cutoff algorithm or alpha beta pruning algorithm, variation of this algorithm has been used successfully for solving your chess deep blue computer, which has used the algorithm variation of this alpha beta pruning algorithm for playing game of chess. So for such a state space trees, you will find out this AO star implementation is useful. It is also used for planning with continuous resources that we will see in planning. Later on, we are going to discuss, I think, last unit on planning. So out there also you will find out AO star algorithm is useful. Direct applications are difficult to identify, but indirectly we can say that for solving game trees this algorithm is useful. That is our next unit. What are game trees, and that we will discuss in next unit. In conclusion, we can say that AO star is used on Andor graph type of search space. It always gives you the minimum cost solution provided that your heuristic function is underestimate, right? Algorithm returns a solution tree. In earlier cases, algorithm used to return a simple path from node to node, but out here algorithm returns a solution tree. In implementation of this algorithm, two major modifications we have done. One is cost calculation has to be done by taking care of n type of nodes. So during cost revision, you will have to revise the cost of parent nodes also. And another major modification that we have done, here we are going to label the nodes. When you reach to the terminal sub goal, we label that node as sol node, and similarly we label ancestor nodes as sol depending upon whether it is R type of node or N type of node. We also label node as unsolved sometimes if it is an unsolvable node. Node is unsolvable if you cannot reach to the sub goal through that node, then we label that as unsolvable node. So that will be given to you, or you will have to identify from the search space. If it is a difficult node, then label that as unsolvable. If that node is unsolvable, there might be a case if parent node will become unsolvable. So you carry out labeling accordingly. So these two modifications are important in your previous algorithm. So this completes our discussion on AO star algorithm. If you have any question, we can discuss right now. For this AO star algorithm or problem reduction search, you refer Rich and Knight's book. Artificial Intelligence by Rich and Knight. As a reference book, you refer Patterson's book. Same algorithm you will find out in Patterson's book also. Basic concept you will understand from Rich and Knight book, and algorithm that I have presented to you, that is from Patterson's book. But to understand this algorithm, which is very simplified version, lot of things, assumptions are there out here. So unless and until you understand its basic functioning from Rich and Knight book, you will not understand algorithm in Patterson's book. So first read Rich and Knight and then go to the Patterson book if you want, if you have not understood any part of this algorithm right now. Otherwise, I think I have covered almost everything from both these books. You will be able to solve any example on AO star algorithm. You will be able to apply it. Only leftover part is how you are going to code it. So that is an assignment to you if you are interested. Think of implementation of this in Python. So if there is no question, we should stop here. Thank you and join for the next lecture.